Hey, it's Tauri, and welcome back to my channel. Today we welcome the wonderful Alicia from Dragonforce. How are you doing today, Alicia?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here, so thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out for being here. You've got a brand new album coming out called Warp Speed Warriors on March 15th. Could you tell us what the album is about in your own words?
Yeah, so this is the band's ninth album, but my very first one that I'm a
Mm-hmm.
part of. I've been in the band for 4 years now, so it's a very big deal to me. And yeah, it's been a great thing to be a part of. There is lots of classic speed Dragonforce songs, as well as a ballad, as well as some disco metal and a Taylor Swift cover. So there's pretty much a little bit of everything in it. So it's a bit different than what you might expect when you hear about a Dragonforce record.
How was that experience for you being your first album with the band?
It was awesome. I mean, like they easily could have, probably just done almost everything themselves, like other than, vocals, but I was like I have to be on this. I'm in the band and they were very supportive. It was an interesting process because everyone is spread out across the world. So our drummer's in Italy and our guitar player and singer are in England, and then I and the other guitar player are here in Los Angeles. So we weren't together for the recording, which is probably the first time I've ever recorded an album like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, but it was really cool. Like our producer Damien lives here in LA, so luckily I did get to go in person to record my parts, and it was a blast.
It's gotta be weird as well because especially with after the pandemic now everything seems to be more so online, and it doesn't matter where you are, you can still work together and create something like this. It's fascinating to me how that comes all together and still works, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, technology is just, yeah, really gotten so good. And like you said, I mean, I think we all got so much practice of, I don't know, interacting like this online through the pandemic that, yeah, it just kind of made sense. We were able to make it happen.
How have you found the fan reaction from the singles you guys have released so far?
Very, very positive. I think our first single Doomsday Party was a very fun one and different one for us because it was very like something definitely different than Dragon Force has ever done before. That's the disco type
Yeah.
metal song, very funky. So that one had some mixed reactions, I think, out of all of the songs that we have released. But I think that's always a positive thing. If you either love it or hate it, I think that's a good thing because, at least it leaves you feeling something. So, yeah, I think fans for the most part though have been very, very positive and excited about the album coming out. So,
That's awesome. Like that video shoot looked like so much fun. You guys must have had a blast.
yeah, yeah, definitely my favorite video I think I've ever done. We all had to learn choreography and we're not dancers at all. Get to dress up like different characters. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I watched it and I just could not stop laughing. Even though the song was like completely different, like you say, to what Dragon Force is usually about, it was nice to see that different side as well and see what else Dragon Force you guys have up your sleeves, like just a little something extra, to add to your discography of everything that is already out. And it was fun. It was a fun video, and it's one of those videos that just you can put on, and if you're low and you're feeling low and your favorite band is Dragon Force, you can put that video on and just watch it and have fun with it. And it's also one of those videos where as a fan you probably want to be in it as well, and like do the choreography and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, when we've been playing it live, some of the fans have learned the dance moves and it's fun to see them doing it during the show and yeah, it was awesome.
So
We were
you
all just
guys
like
just
goofing off.
yeah. So you guys just literally today dropped your Taylor Swift cover. What made you guys want to cover Taylor Swift in the first place?
It's funny because I think being the only female that the band has ever had, people
Mm-hmm.
assume that I'm the one who came up with this idea, but it was actually Herman. He is a Swiftie. He's been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift in the last few years because he has a daughter, a
Mm-hmm.
4-year-old daughter who is really stoked on Taylor Swift. So I think that definitely had something to do with it, as well as like him just trying to come up with a creative, different type of cover that people might not expect from us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it went over really well. Like I think the best covers to me are when you take a song and make it different and it doesn't sound like it's just like the same thing, you know, being
Mm-hmm.
played. So it's Taylor Swift gone power metal, and it's been really fun to play.
Yeah, I just filmed my reaction before I started this interview, and it was just so much fun. And then also having that live footage of what a show is like for you guys, just I called it like organized chaos in a way because you guys just
Yeah.
look like you're having so much fun up on stage. And it, I was supposed to try and come and see you this time, but we just couldn't make it. I had so much going on, just personal stuff. But it just makes me want to get out there and get to come and see you guys eventually. And I know one of my good friends, Old School Nerd, has seen you twice now, I think. And yeah, he raves about it all the time. He's like, I had such a brilliant time. And just seeing that video, he's like, I need to go and I need to see this band live. Do you have any like fun or memorable moments that have happened on tour?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think like you said, I mean, there's just so much happening
Yeah.
at a Dragonforce show. And it's not just going to see a typical metal band play. I think it is a lot of fun. There's so much going on. Like we're running up on arcade machines and we're doing synchronized jump moves and all kinds of things going on. I think my favorite moment though was when I got to do 70,000 tons of metal last year with them. And me and Herman played underwater and went
Mm-hmm.
down like a water slide. So I mean, there's always crazy fun things that we're just trying to come up with and do. So that's probably one of my favorite moments, maybe. Um, yeah.
What do you think is like the most rewarding part of being in Dragon Force, but also what is like the most challenging for you?
Yeah. I think the most rewarding is just talking to anybody that might come to a show or
Mm-hmm.
even just follow the band online obviously I am the first female in the band. So it's made an impact on some people that like there's a lot of little girls and women that have come up to me and said that they picked up bass since I've joined the band and because they've been Dragon Force fans and they've saw my presence on stage and it inspired them to pick up the instrument. I've had little boys too, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the best feeling in the world. So if I can inspire anybody to play, then that makes me feel really good and representing more women out there because it is
Yeah.
such a male industry. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the most rewarding. The most challenging, I mean I think touring is my dream job but there is drawbacks. Obviously, you are going to miss out on different things in life certain occasions or family events back home that you might be missing out on. But at the end of the day, it's like I am getting to do what I love. So yeah.
Yeah. And you get to do it with what seems like these amazing, it's like just super chill guys as well that, they probably make you feel safe as because you are the only woman as well. And as you say, it is a very male dominated space. So it's, that's what I love seeing women in like this space in metal and just being that inspiration, because it also inspires me, even though I'm not a musician, it just inspires me to push myself out there more, especially with my channel and doing interviews and things like that. And it's nice to see. So I want to thank you for being that inspiration
Aw,
as well.
thank you, and thank you too. Yeah, I was stoked to see you pop up on today's Zoom call. So yeah.
Who are your biggest like musical influences, and how have they shaped your style in how you play?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many just, to narrow it down, but I'd say like one of probably some of the bands that inspired me to just start being in a band and like playing guitar and bass were probably My Chemical Romance and The
Yeah.
Used
Yeah.
growing up, like 10, seeing them on like Fuse TV, being like, whoa, I've never seen people do that before. That's kind of, I think, a lot of, my early inspiration growing up. Billy Idol is another
Hmm.
big influence for kind of some of the stuff I do now with my band. And yeah, I mean, there's so many I could name just, but I'd say maybe those are some big ones that shaped me growing up.
Yeah, I think My Chemical Romance was such a huge influence on a lot of people are in our age group, and they certainly were for me as well. They definitely shaped my teen years into like what I love now, and I'm just so
Yeah.
thankful for them, and getting to see them live and do their thing when they were in that beginning stage as well, compared to like now. It's so nostalgic, you know.
Hell yeah. Oh.
How how do you find like a good work life balance, like between, of course, your touring, your writing, your whatever you're doing with, because you are part of two bands, and then how do you find a good balance in like having a personal life?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think luckily, as of right now, there is a great balance of time between touring and off time. So I am getting a good balance of that. Obviously, this album's coming out, so we might be touring a lot more. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting, to really get into that. But I think just, really trying to like nurture the friendships and family relationships in my life as much as I can. I like to think of it like watering, your plants, you have to
yeah,
maintain it,
yeah.
really nurture them. So I just kind of try to make sure all of the people in my life are valued and know that. So yeah, I guess just balancing, making sure I can do enough things also for myself, my mental health, to
Right.
just keep happy and balance everything. Yeah.
Yeah, mental health is super important, because if you're just not feeling it, then that's going to show up on stage, and then the fans are going to feed off that, and that's not what you want. So, and I
Yeah.
think it's an important topic to talk about as musicians as well, because there are some, you've got so much going on with tour life, with everything else, social media nowadays as well, and just staying on top of everything, and when somebody is feeling down, and they put that out, it's nice to, well, not nice, but it's a relatable thing, because everybody feels that at some point in their life. So I think it's a good thing to do that. And a lot of people tend to have that like out of sight, out of mind mindset sometimes, and it's nice to hear that you try and like nurture, like you look at it as watering plants, like you say, and it's nice to see that you nurture and value your friendships and your family life that way. So I think it's good.
I mean, it's definitely important, but yeah,
Yeah.
because, I feel like the 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever, however long we're on stage, is the one time that I do want to show up as my best selves
Yeah.
for the audience, because that's the time for them to come and like have their outlet of release and like just having fun. So, of course, yeah, it's definitely true, like what you said, no matter, I mean, we're definitely not like superheroes that we're just like not feeling. Like where
Right.
everyone goes through human emotions, just like
Yeah.
everyone. I feel like that's like the one time that I do love to just feel the best and give my best and have, the audience feel the same way. So, yeah.
It's just gotta be so much fun just living that life and getting out on stage. And even if you have that little touch, of course everybody gets nervous, everybody gets anxious, and that little feeling beforehand, and then you get up on stage and then the adrenaline starts taking over, and then it's like, I can't believe I'm here, and I'm doing this, and I can't believe this is my life. So I definitely do want to come see you guys one day, because it looks like you put on such, like, just like you say, it's just a fun time, just where everybody can switch off from everyday real life and they just can focus on the band and the music and everything else that's going on at that moment. And I think that's a great way to look at it and to go about it. As the album comes out, you'll be most of the way through your European tour that you have going on. Are you gonna do like, because the album comes out on an actual date that you will be playing? Are you gonna do anything fun on that date, or have you not like talked about it yet?
That's a good question. I feel like most things that we do in this band are just kind of like pretty last minute.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if like we figure something out on that day or like the day before. They are very much dudes in that sense.
Right, right.
But like, yeah, I hope we do. It would be fun to do something special, Especially this
Yeah.
is my first record, like I mentioned. So I hope, yeah, I think overall it'll be a very special day.
Yeah, I
But
hope so. I hope you guys get to do something fun, just something memorable that you can take away from just that date, and because the album is out and you've been working on it for like a year or two, and it's finally out into the world, and you guys can take that breath of fresh air and just like, oh, it's out, like.
yeah, that's crazy. Oh.
Do you have, I'm not going to keep you much longer because I know you've got more interviews to attend to. Do you have any last words for people watching this interview, like of thanks or just anything in general?
Well, thank you, Tori, for hosting and everyone for supporting, watching. And yeah, we have a new album called Warp Speed Warriors coming out March 15th, 2024. So,
I'm
yay.
excited. I'm excited for it. I like you guys just, you're one of those bands that just instantaneously makes me happy, but I think because with it being power metal, it just generally does that anyway. And of course, everybody, I will leave Dragonforce's information down in the description, along with that pre-order link. You can go ahead and pre-order that now. Alicia, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here on the channel. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a great weekend ahead of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.